Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video like up. Port Charles has never been short on drama, but the week of July 21 to 25 explodes with an emotional firestorm unlike anything we've seen in months. As summer hits its peak, the lives of our favorite General Hospital characters spiral into chaos, betrayal, and last-minute revelations. At the heart of it all is the long-awaited wedding of Drew Kane and Willow Tayton, event that promises love and unity but delivers heartbreak and disruption. The question on everyone's lips: who dares to interrupt the ceremony, and why? The week kicks off quietly enough, with a deceptively serene tone. Drew and Willow finalize the last-minute details for their wedding, oblivious to the emotional earthquake brewing beneath them. Willow, still recovering emotionally from her complicated past, is hesitant but hopeful. Drew, on the other hand, hides a deeper secret, one that could destroy everything he claims to cherish. Meanwhile, Carly's instincts are on fire. She's not entirely convinced Drew's motivations are pure. Her motherly intuition warns her that something is off, not just with Drew, but with the way everyone around her is behaving. Carly confides in Jason, whose return has already rattled several cages in Port Charles. Jason, always the silent protector, promises to keep his eyes open, but even he isn't prepared for what's about to unfold. Over at the Metro Court, Portia and Curtis have their own suspicions about Drew. Portia, who has recently reconnected with Willow in a more maternal role, senses that Willow is being manipulated. Curtis uncovers a disturbing detail: Drew's medical records were tampered with. The blood test that supposedly proved his clean bill of health faked. Curtis confronts Portia, and the two agree they must do something before Willow is locked into a life of lies. Michael, still emotionally tethered to Willow despite their breakup, receives an anonymous tip. The evidence is damning. Drew is using his relationship with Willow as a way to secure power and influence through the Corinthos family. Michael doesn't want to believe it at first, but the truth is staring him in the face. He's forced to make a painful decision: intervene, or let Willow walk into a toxic marriage. By midweek, tension crackles in the air. Nina continues to play her own twisted games. She pulls Drew aside, threatening to expose what she knows about his fake medical results and his shadowy deals unless he backs out of the wedding. Drew, caught in a vice of secrets and pressure, grows increasingly desperate. Willow notices the change in his demeanor. Her once loving fiancé is short-tempered, distracted, and evasive. Elsewhere, Jocelyn uncovers a new piece of the puzzle while investigating an unrelated WSB matter. Her accidental discovery ties Drew to a secret off-the-book meeting with Brennan, Carly's former flame, and someone suspected of criminal ties. When she shares this with Carly, the pieces start falling into place. As the big day approaches, the excitement around the wedding grows. Port Charles is abuzz with speculation. Invitations go out. The Quartermain estate is decorated with elegance and luxury, but behind the shimmering lights and rose petals lies a bomb waiting to detonate. Friday arrives. The ceremony begins under a soft summer sky. Guests gathered dressed to the nines, smiling for photos, sipping champagne, exchanging polite gossip. Willow, radiant in her gown, walks down the aisle with a sense of surreal wonder. Drew stands waiting, his expression unreadable. The officiant begins the ceremony. Tension thickens. Carly, seated in the front row, can barely sit still. Jason watches Drew like a hawk. Portia grips Curtis's hand. Michael fidgets. Nina eyes Drew with fire in her gaze. And then the interruption. Just as the officiant asks Drew to say, "I do," a commanding voice cuts through the air. "Stop this wedding right now." All heads turn. Standing at the entrance are Michael, Curtis, and Portia, their expressions resolute. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Willow's face freezes in confusion. Drew pales. Michael steps forward. "Willow, I'm sorry, but you deserve the truth before you make the biggest mistake of your life." Curtis holds up a file: evidence of Drew's falsified blood tests, of his hidden meetings, of his manipulation. Portia adds, "He's been lying to you. To all of us." The crowd murmurs in shock. Drew's mask slips. "This isn't the time or place. It's the only time," Michael counters. "You were going to marry her under false pretenses. You don't get to do that." Willow is speechless. She looks from Michael to Portia to Drew. "Is it true?" she whispers. Drew can't answer. His silence is louder than any confession. The officiant quietly closes the book and steps away. The wedding is over, but the fallout is just beginning. Willow flees the altar, her gown dragging behind her, like a broken dream. Carly rushes to her, arms open. Drew tries to follow, but Jason blocks his path with a stare that could cut glass. "You've done enough," Jason says coldly. Curtis hands the file over to Jordan, who had been attending as a guest. She scans it quickly and narrows her eyes at Drew. "We'll be having a long conversation very soon," she says sternly. Back at the Quartermain mansion, the post-wedding devastation ripples like an aftershock. Guests whisper and speculate. Nina smirks slightly, though no one can tell if she's pleased or disgusted. Lucy Coe immediately calls a meeting with Martin. She sees an opportunity to spin this into a PR move. Meanwhile, Willow hides out at her mother's house, trying to process everything. She's angry, humiliated, heartbroken, but also relieved. A part of her knew something was wrong. A part of her is grateful she was saved in time. Michael visits her later that evening. He doesn't say anything at first, he just sits beside her, quiet, supportive. When he finally speaks, he says, "I didn't do it because I want to win you back. I did it because I love you enough to want you to be free." Tears stream down Willow's cheeks. She thanks him, but the future is uncertain. In the days that follow, Port Charles slowly digests the news. Drew goes into damage control mode, but his reputation has taken a critical hit. Carly cuts ties with him. Jason refuses to even look at him. The Quartermains distance themselves. No one wants to be associated with a scandal of this magnitude. Curtis and Portia receive praise for stepping in. Jordan considers launching a full investigation. Nina, interestingly, backs off for now. Willow returns to work at GH, where she finds solace in helping others. She's not ready for love, but she is ready to reclaim her independence. Michael, back to being a single father, focuses on Wiley and his business. He tells Brooklyn he feels strangely at peace. And Drew, alone and exposed, he begins a slow spiral downward. His once golden image tarnished, he begins to show signs of desperation. Where he turns next is anyone's guess. As July ends, one thing is clear: Port Charles will never be the same. The wedding that was supposed to be a fairy tale turned into a public reckoning. Loyalties were tested, secrets shattered, and new paths forged. The town watches, the families realign, and somewhere in the shadows, a new threat begins to stir.